Okay, so we are in December of 2024. It is time to really find out if we believe what the media is telling us about the real estate market, specifically here in San Luis Obispo County on the Central Coast. So I owe you the information that you deserve, and we're going to get into it right now. So what happens now that the presidential elections are over? We've had a mass media explosion of information coming to us this whole few months back here. So I'm going to break down a little bit of what happens after the presidential election, because that's a big topic that comes up. And what do you need to believe at what's out there? Because the media tends to want ratings, and with ratings, they got to make things a little bit more dramatic, that the market's plummeting or that it's not the right time to buy. And a lot of you are reaching out, and I want to give you the information. So the first graph I'm going to bring up is something that's going to give you some historical data that'll help you figure out perhaps what's coming in the future. All right, so I have this great graph here to give you some historical concept of what happens after a presidential election. This is information from the Housing and Urban Development and the National Association of Realtors. And this graph goes back to 1978 and what happens after an election, and only twice have the prices actually gone down after an election. So you're going to find this super interesting. So 9 out of the 11 presidential elections, only twice have they actually gone down in price, and that was in 1981 and 1990, I believe that is, which is actually the year that I graduated. So if you take a look at all the other years, prices have gone up after the election. So, everything you're hearing out there, really take a look at the data and where the prices are headed. So this is a little bit of a nugget for you to take note of. And does the market slow down November, December? Well, sure, but let's look at some more information, some more data on that. So again, here's another news clip of home sales might slow down, but not for long. Because of course, historically speaking, home sales typically slow down in the fall, summer and spring months. We all know there's a mad rush, and that's where prices can go up. Now this is national information, and I'm going to bring you some macro information so that you know what to believe in this market, specifically here in San Luis Obispo. So this is what Ali Wolf, chief economist at Zenata, anticipating what will happen. So usually home sales are unchanged compared to a non-election year, with the exception being November. In an election year, November is slower than normal. However, I'm going to show you some data, and then this way you can comfortably move forward as you are exploring making a move over here to the Central Coast. This is why it's so important to work with a local professional so that you get the right information, because proper preparation prevents poor performance. So we want you not only to find the house that you want out here on the Central Coast in San Luis Obispo County, but we want you to get the house. So you need to know what the market trend is and what to really believe is true for our specific market. So let's dive in and take a look at some current data for the last few months. All right, so now we're going to compare the last 3 running months of this calendar year of 2024 and the years. So right now this is the month of November for 2022, 2023, and currently 2024. So as you can see, from 869, 890, and 900 is our current median sales price in the whole county of San Luis Obispo, single family residence. So this is where we're at from this past month here in November. All right, so in 2024, from October to November, we did do a little dip down, and then from September to November, we went higher. So that's something to note there for 2024, the last 3 months. Now, and every area is going to have a different increase or decrease in equity or increase in pricing. So let's go to 2023 just to see the difference there. And that would be, so November was at 894, so lower than this year. And then it was at 887, 825. And then it was at September 886, 500. So September in 2024 was 889. So it's a little bit of a stabilization, yet in some of these micro areas, they're going to be higher. So that's what I want to just, again, reach out, make an appointment. If you found any information interesting so far, please give the video a like. It helps us. But you've got to reach out so we can make an appointment and find out what's important to you. What does the home need to look like? What price point do you need to be in? And what is currently happening in our market? The other thing I wanted to share with you is also a little bit of the cities in particular. So we can take a look at San Luis Obispo proper, the city of San Luis Obispo, because I get a lot of calls for that particular town. And that median price point right now is at $1,225,000. Okay, so that was, here we are, the last rolling year, months. I'm going to do the bar. It's a little bit easier for the last 3 years. Again, I think it's good for you to see where it's going when people are saying we're going to do increases or decreases. Nationally, we're projected to go up 9% next year. Individually out here, it's going to be different. Some of the metro areas are definitely going down a little bit because they have so much more inventory than we do. So again, in our area, it is specific and there is a high demand. Hence, that pushes our prices up or at least maintains them to a certain degree. So here is San Luis Obispo proper. The numbers in 2022, 975 in November. In 2023, we were at 11275, and then we're at 1225. So there you go. I mean, that was a jump even from last year in the slower months. So this is where you really need to pay attention to what's going on specifically in each town. And what I wanted to do also is just kind of tell you, like, the month supply. This is also going to tell you where we're at. You know, in order for it to turn into a buyer's market, it needs to be pushing 6 months of inventory. And right now we are across the board, year over year, holding tight around 2.5 months of inventory. So that's not really favoring our buyers, unfortunately. And it's still a very strong seller's market. So you need to kind of have that mindset as you're coming over here and trying to negotiate and maybe make adjustments to your criteria or, figure out if these price points are going to meet your needs. So that's just, some conversations that we need to have. I can quickly give you a good dosage of reality of what type of home you're going to be able to purchase. So just have that in mind as you are checking out San Luis Obispo. And there's some things at the end of the video that I'm going to share with you, personal views of things that I'm seeing as I'm negotiating right now and getting different calls from you all out there wanting to know what's going on. So sit tight for that and we'll go over that. But I do want to share another screen here of a local newspaper that actually came out with some good information now that we're taking a look at what I'm showing you right here. So take a look at this article that came out November 24th, 2024, and the numbers pretty much match up. Our average home price in San Luis Obispo is $900,000. Now there's average price point and median. This should have been more of a median price point. Average price points typically are higher. But these are the facts right here. This is really what I wanted you to take note of. This is from the actual county assessor's office. Their calculations are 901,111. And 10 years ago, we were at 477,308. So about half, it's doubled. And obviously in 2020 through 2022, the years that the market was a unicorn market, it definitely increased significantly. So again, this is just really some tangible, data-driven information to help you as a consumer really move forward with confidence as you're coming in and checking out our market, so that you don't feel that you're overpaying or you're trying to come in lower when something just hits the market and there's 4 or 5 other offers, because that still is happening on some of these. And this is where we talk about what areas you want to target and what your specific criteria is and how we can make that happen for you. So again, here's some more information that I really wanted to share that I found super interesting, is just to see where some of these values increase the most. So as you're talking about resale, that's another factor that we like to look into for you as you are checking out the area and where you want to end up landing. Is San Luis Obispo proper tends to have higher increase in value. Why? Because, well, it's a college town. It's the anchor of our area. It's where all the small businesses, a lot of our out of town smaller businesses that get rooted in our area are in the San Luis Obispo proper area. Paso Robles, well, that's our little Napa. That's over the grade. That's a whole different climate and a whole different terrain and landscape. Beautiful, just wine country, more horse properties, more elbow room, more rural. Then you've got the lakes out there, you got Lake Nacimiento out there. So a lot going on in Paso, great restaurants, beautiful little downtown, Atascadero's runner-up with Grover Beach. And we're talking about 2 different spectrums. Atascadero's over the grade, a lot more trees, a lot more hilly, a lot more rural. And then Grover Beach is a 2-mile perimeter town that is next to the Pacific Ocean. You kind of say it's the stepsister to Pismo Beach and Arroyo Grande, but it's literally the most affordable properties that you can get near the Pacific Ocean without paying that, $1.5 million, $1.2 million mark. You can find a little beach cottage, a little bungalow there. It's just your expectations have to be identified and actually see if it'll work. That's what I really like to try to do for you, is really give you the information that you need to figure out what's important to you, whether it's an RV parking, whether it's got to be single story. You want to be close to the beach. You don't care about the beach. You want to be close to activities. It's about the family. It's about the kids. Or you don't want to be around the kids. It's just like all these little nuances that are specific to you. So that's what we need to have a conversation about, and that's why you need to reach out and let's have a conversation about it and see what may work for you. Pismo Beach, that is our tourist driver. Different pockets of Grover Beach. That's why you got to reach out. We got lots of different microclimates, different neighborhoods, different opportunities, architectural designs. Morro Bay, beautiful out there, a little bit more off the beaten path, a lot calmer than most areas. Arroyo Grande, it's still, all of these are still increasing quite nicely. Wouldn't you agree? Year over year, we typically see a 4 to 6% increase in home values. So that 9% in general that's been forecasted could be a little bit inflated. We shall see. If the new administration does a little bit of adjusting on the interest rates, that could definitely influence that number. But this is just something for you to really see of what's actually happened, and then we'll see what's actually going to be happening. Rio Grande, that's my old stomping grounds. A great little community there for no matter where you are in your chapter in your life. if it fits the needs and the vibe that you're looking for. And then the unincorporated in the county, 4.3. Those are what I like to call our finger roads, if you've been watching the channel for a little bit. So again, this is where we really want to have some conversations. This is a great article. I'll put a link to it in the description, and it's, gives you some more information of where our taxes go. Depending on where you are going to be residing, some of these locations bring in tax revenue because of the hotels or the tourism. Some of our areas don't, and that's where you as the consumer will be paying that in your taxes in the future for infrastructure that is needed and all the things. So even though we can't always believe the media, sometimes these local media, newspaper media, I just pulled up right now, that is believable. That matches what I can find data in our specific local area. So again, this is why you really need to reach out to a local real estate professional. I would go over the market trend with you that I just brought up in those InfoSpark graphs. We really want to look at pendings, and we want to look at not necessarily just sold, but what's pending and what the inventory is looking like at the time that you're looking for property. Winter months are great months as a buyer because those sellers that are on the market might want to do end of year. I mean, we're already, the days are clicking right now in December. So to close a transaction right now, you would need to move quickly. And I do have lenders that can do very short escrows right now. I'm into 20-day escrows right now. And there's ways to compete with cash buyers. You remove your loan contingency because you're fully loan approved. So there are strategies that we can put in place to help you win the house. Because I'm going to tell you, we can find it. We need to find the way to get it. So those are the two differences right there. So the things that I promised I wanted to share personally as what I'm seeing right now in the market is what you're paying for to move out here to the Central Coast. We have a weather tax. So we have fantastic weather, and that is one of the prime reasons that people move out here. If you're going to live in California, San Diego area has warmer beaches, more activities, but it's more congested, and you're on freeways that are just craziness. So here we have a weather tax, and then you have a quality of life value. That's what people are paying for, quality of life. So people that are retiring here or trying to bring their young families here because they want to get out of that, keeping up with the Joneses vibes, they come here and they just want that quality of life for their children, hence the weather, where you can be outside all the time, enjoying, barbecuing, all the things that, California has to offer, specifically the Central Coast. And, our infrastructure, our slower traffic tends to be an attraction as well. There's pros and cons to that. We only have Highway 101. If there's an issue on that, you're going to be backed up, and you have to get to know the finger roads to get you where you need to go. So these are factors that really keep our pricing, as you saw, sort of stable per se, still kind of climbing. At some points it'll peak, and that's why, spring and, January we'll be seeing some more on the market, February, March, and obviously May, as March and May, April, May, that's when we start seeing, a lot of people start making some moves. So it'll be interesting times with new administration. People are accepting the interest rate as it currently is. And if you can pull it off, do it. If it goes down next year, then you refi. But don't push yourself. The other thing is, we are an area that has only a certain amount of inventory. So that's also a factor that keeps our prices where they're at. We don't have a lot of homes to put on the market. And if right now, because people are so happy with their interest rates and really like the quality of life here, they're moving because there's something going on in their lives. Either the family's growing or downsizing, unfortunately divorces, people passing away, people inheriting homes. We are a second home destination. So there's so many different factors that really sustain and maintain, the pricing, because the demand is still high for our area. So these things are here to help you. I hope this was informational for you. And as we can have some more conversations and I can give you some more things to help you understand the data, the market trend, you can move forward with confidence and with no doubt that you are moving forward on the property if you've got to be a little bit more aggressive than you thought you were going to have to be. So this is the time to get the data, understand what kind of property you can get for the money that you want to spend. So again, the media is out there telling you a few things in certain areas nationally, but really hone in, know what you need to believe in this market currently as we're entering 2025. And I'm always here to help. So again, if you found this information of value, hit that subscribe button, give us a like, leave me a comment, reach out, watch the other playlist. I got a lot of videos for other areas so you don't miss anything. So until the next video, we'll catch you later.